was the first British-designed helicopter to see RAF service. It was designed by a team under Raoul Hafter, an Austrian émigré who joined the Bristol Aeroplane Company post-war. The first couple of prototype Bristol 171s flew with the Pratt & Whitney Watt Junior engine, but all production examples, including this one, whether military or civil, switched to the Alvis Leonides 9-cylinder air-cooled radial with some 550 horsepower. The first deliveries were in 1951, the Sycamore HC-11 version to the Army. The RAF followed with the Mark 12, the HR-12 for search and rescue, and then the anti-submarine reconnaissance role followed with RAF Coastal Command. It was with the Mark 13 that the Sycamore came into regular Royal Air Force search and rescue service, now as part of Flight Command in 1953, and it was the first dedicated search and rescue squadron in the RAF, number 275 Squadron, who had the honour, with a Sycamore like this, of leading the Queen's Coronation Review flypast at RAF Odium in 1953. Sycamores equipped search and rescue units around the country at North Coats, Horsham St Faith, Thornaby, Chivenor and Lucas. And they were important overseas as well. They augmented the Westland Dragonfly in Malaya from 1954, and a couple of years later equipped number 284 Squadron in Cyprus, and the latter became the first ever RAF helicopters to perform night flying and troop insertions in mountainous areas. There was a very famous operation in 1958. 5 Sycamores inserted 41 troops near a terrorist hideout some 3,000 feet up in the Troodos mountain range. The operations that followed led to the death of Chief of Staff of IOCA, the Greek Cypriot separatist movement. They were deployed to Borneo, they were deployed to Aden, they were used by the Central Flying School for training. The last user in the RAF was number 32 Squadron, who had them for communications duties until August 1972. They were put, Bristol 171s, to many civil users, and there were quite a few overseas customers. One of them was West Germany, and this one was built in 1957 for the Luftwaffe as a VIP transport. It was used also as a rotary wing trainer and a search and rescue platform. It spent some time with the German Navy, the Marineflieger, on rescue duty. Then it was back with the Luftwaffe until it was struck off charge in 1969. Many retired German military Sycamores joined the civil register. This one was acquired by a gentleman called Karl Müller of Mellinghausen in Lower Saxony, and it was flown in various roles until 1988, when it was bought by a Swiss vineyard owner named Peter Schmidt. He also bought a second airworthy one and several more for spares use. They were based at Alpenrhein on Lake Constance. This one was later painted in RAF colours, and it soon became the last airworthy example. Some years ago, Schmidt technician Dieter Hasebrink wrote to Siegfried Schwarz, the chief helicopter pilot of the Flying Bulls in Austria, saying the Sycamore was available and inquiring about its possible sale. Schwarz was won round. It was bought by the Flying Bulls, moved to Salzburg in November 2010. With it came 5 other airframes, something in the region of 50 rotor blades, multiple engines. Hasebrink was brought on board to head up the restoration effort. This aircraft first flew again in July 2013 in the hands of Siegfried Schwarz, who was and remains the sole Sycamore pilot now in the world. It gained its permit to fly in 2016. It's since been displayed at numerous events around Austria. This is the first time that this aircraft in its RAF Air Support Command markings has come to the UK. Concerns on a helicopter of this type, the condition of the wooden rotor blades. Blackie Schwarz told me that they took 2 of the oldest rotor blades when they first got this helicopter to the Technical University in Graz, where they did all sorts of tests. They were completed when the blades broke. The findings were very good. All the other blades in their stock were scanned using specialised equipment to check their condition. They're normally scanned from this aircraft every 10 flight hours, incredible to me that this aircraft should have survived in airworthy condition. So much of that thanks to the experts at the Flying Bulls in Salzburg, and so much of it thanks also to its previous owner, Peter Schmidt, who I gather is here this weekend, and thanks to him for having kept this aircraft in beautiful condition for so long until it was bought by the Flying Bulls. Told me it's very difficult to fly because you have a lot of forces on the cyclic and collective. It's nothing like a modern helicopter. You have big trim wheels and you have to transfer fluid between the nose and the tail to keep the centre of gravity within limits. But I like it very much. And a type of helicopter, Andy, that of course was amongst the pioneers of rotary wing flight in the RAF. And already by the time the Sycamore appeared, that had gone back quite a way, hadn't it? In fact, to the late war years.
Yes, indeed. With the hoverfly, first rotary aircraft to enter service with the Royal Air Force, built by actually known as the R4. It's the helicopter training school. It was formed in January 1945, still during the war years, so I hand over. And then we really move on to the Westland Dragonfly, a very strange looking helicopter. Entered service with the Royal Air Force in 1950. And then as we follow helicopters in IF history, then we get to the Sycamore. And then very soon we're going to take that story on another page or two with another display item. And of course we have plenty of ex-RAF helicopters on the airfield today, including once again one of those lovely little historical enclaves. This is located almost just behind the air traffic control tower.